Episode podcast. I'm your host, Britt, and today we have episode number 70 with the glue from PA. And our topic today is collaboration. How are you doing today, Trey?
Hey, I'm pretty good today. I appreciate you having me on your show. That's what's up for your 70th episode. Like I like that's a good number. I'm glad I'm not like a 68, 67, 70th.
Okay, what's good about 70? Tell me something I don't know.
Well, I like the number 7. Um, just the
Oh,
numerical standpoint of it. What number 7 means in the universe. I don't really want to get dig into it, but I like the number 7. How
okay, I'll roll with it. You like the number 7, you number 70 today. So I just want to say thank you. Thank you for coming on the show today. This is Thanksgiving week. I know everybody getting ready for their turkeys. Are y'all
Uh,
cooking over there or what y'all doing, Trey?
we're probably gonna go to my lady's family's spot Thursday. Uh,
Okay. That's a blessing. I
yeah.
miss those days where I didn't have to cook. Um my grandparents, they've been gone since 2020. So I have to cook now. So it's okay. It's okay. I know how to cook, so that's a good
Uh-huh.
thing. And so it's just I was always the grandchild that didn't cook. So it's funny that I'm cooking.
Everybody looking at you like, is she? Does she know what she doing? She sure she? Don't need no help over there.
But yeah, I want to know a little bit more about you. Let us know what you got going on and what you do in your spare time and why you go by the glue.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna answer that question first. Why I go by the glue. And I was just thinking about this a couple of days ago. I'm understanding different chapters of my life and what those chapters have built into me today. And I think I'm on my fifth chapter. And when you put all those 4 chapters before, like, let's break it down. Like, I grew up in the hood, so that's one chapter. My second chapter was I went to boarding school. So that's a different playing field, different avenue of education, being around different people that's not melanin. Then 3 was I spent 5 years upstate. That was a next chapter. And then then coming home and not doing anything negative, um, sticking to the script, not getting in trouble. I haven't, I never went back. I'm off now. I've been off for a minute, but so that's that 4th chapter. So now I'm walking into my 5th chapter, and I'm understanding like why people really call me the glue is because um, I'm I'm able to advocate, um,
Mm-hmm.
able to you can sit me down in any circle, and doesn't matter what the conversation is, I'm going to know something about it, and it's going to seem like I know something about it. You're not going to see me shake, you're not going to see me stutter. um, I'm a great talker. I know how to network, I know how to put myself out there. One of the things that I want to get into later in life is acting because I have a huge drama behind me.
Mm-hmm.
I spent summers doing drama classes, so
Oh
um,
wow.
and I have a good it's like an energetic spirit. And really, when it comes down to it, when I say something, that's exactly what it is, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. And over the years, people just started some. One of the artists I used to promote, manage. It's like, yo, man, you the glue, man. Everything you do this. It just connects, and like I feel like I'm like the wheel in the water, and what I mean, you can just spin me, and I can connect you. I can point you. I mean,
I love
it's
No,
like
I love all of that. I love how you have a story behind your name. I love how you have overcome so many obstacles and you are continuing to thrive and not look back. So that's amazing. So congratulations on what God is doing in your life. And I'm sure he has so much more in store for you that definitely we haven't seen or heard. So
right.
congratulations.
Yes, I appreciate it. I think that's
Yes.
very important when people like I can feel it. Like when I say I can feel it, like I can feel the amount of energy that is surrounding me because I know that next chapter is exactly where I've been aiming. been working hard for. And when you um, when you work hard, the universe is going to pay it back, whether you want to say God or Mother Earth or whoever your whatever your higher being is. They're going to meet you
Right.
halfway. They're going
Mhm.
to see you working.
I love it. You're telling the truth. You got to work hard, especially in this microwave state that we're in now, especially our generation, my kids. I'm always like, I thought I was spoiled. Like, y'all really feel entitled. And I'm really like an old school type of mama. So I'm really like, that don't work with me. So
Right.
but it's funny that we're talking about collaboration today with this episode number 70, because I want to just thank you for supporting me, supporting this podcast. I'm grateful that I, know you now. You're in my network. I
Right.
can ask you stuff. You can put me on, because I was just amazed when I started listening to everything you have going on and following you, and then you reciprocated that back, and I was just like, wow. Especially in our community, Black people, we don't always like to collab. So when you're talking about collaboration, Trey, what does that mean to you?
To me, that's um what's the word I'm looking for? It's doing stuff when nobody is looking. I'm trying to think of that word. Uh, Collaboration is just understanding. Even if you're alpha, I mean, you have to be able to be secure with yourself and understand. All right, this is what I can bring to the table, but how she does it or how he does it is not the same as me. But they bring the same kind of crowd. They bring the same kind of energy. Well, let's collaborate because there's there's the fan retention people don't realize. Like um, when I started supporting you before we had this interview, knowingly or unknowingly, my followers are tapping into you. So you're getting a percentage of fan retention from my page and my audience from my TG playlist. So how to double it down is all right, well, let's get an interview together and really get into each other's network. And then, the farther more we collaborate and support each other, it's going to be like, what I mean? You're going to get all of it. It's not going to be a percent. You're just going to get whoever likes you from my platform is going to really support you, and whoever from your platform is really going to support me.
Now you
I
hit it dead on the nail. You
right.
you put exactly what I wanted to into context, because I do feel like sometimes a partnership, it's all about you knowing what you can bring to the table. And
Hmm.
like you said, if you are the alpha or the omega, knowing where you lie in that partnership. I
Right.
think collaboration, it has to be some type of partnership between two people. And if the partnership ain't good, then we ain't gonna be able to collaborate.
Mm-mm.
I think a lot of celebrities are doing that now. So you know where I'm going with this. Have you seen Snoop Dogg?
Uh, um, you know, I'm gonna put it's Snoop Dogg, Killer Mike. Who was I talking about? There's three figureheads right now. Oh, Master P, and I'm only saying that is because um, even if they work with the machine, and I'm saying the machine, their output for the positive and what they're giving back times 10 folds that. Like so, I'm always paying attention to Snoop Dogg. He has the creative ways of I think he was saying I ain't smoking, or people was like, oh, Snoop Dogg ain't smoking or something. And look, this is pretty much what this is. Like, you know what I mean? That's just a way to advertise. And when it comes to advertisement, Snoop Dogg is that guy. Like,
Oh my gosh. When he put smokeless and kept putting up his pictures, and then he got people following him. He got Meek Mills quitting smoking, people going public, letting them know, like, hey, I'm gonna stop and go with the movement too with Snoop, not even like knowing what he really talking about.
right,
He getting you prepared to let you know, okay, this is really what I'm talking about.
right.
But y'all just took the bait and ran with it. You know what I'm saying? So how did that make you feel when you, and if you did have any like feeling towards it, when you saw a lot of people following Snoop Dogg and wanted to stop smoking and thought he stopped smoking, but he really didn't. He was just teaming up with, I believe it was Soul, and I don't want to say their names wrong, but he was pretty much just doing a partnership
Hmm.
for that particular company, and it didn't have nothing to do with him stop smoking weed.
Right. You know, I I really I love that. I very much appreciate advertisement. When I was lucky while I was in boarding school, um, we had an advertisement class, right? I don't know how many schools have that, but this guy taught us for a full year of how to look at magazines, why is this magazine targeting us, and then how to look for certain pictures, why is this picture angled like this, why is this word like that. Take these words together, spell out, and you'll get what they're really trying to sell. So I love advertising because I do the same thing. Like one of my artists, our team was like, "Yo, I like how you throw the subliminals in there." Like the last reel, there's 4 clicks. The guy is clicking his revolver, so I use the subliminals 4 times, but it's only in a tight space where you kind of see it, but you kind of don't. But it's programming your mind, and all it's saying is available on all digital platforms. So 4 clicks 4 times. And I understand advertisement. I understand subliminals. I understand why, what color means this. Why are this company using this color? So I think it's just a level of intelligence where he's at right now. Like he's killing it, and obviously you see where the money is flowing. So you can't knock it. Like
Oh,
it
I'm
did
definitely not
exactly what it
knocking
was
it.
supposed to do.
Exactly what I was saying. It was letting you know exactly where his mindset is
Hmm.
and where some of the people that's following him, where their mindset is, and how he just took it and spent it and made it a big thing. So I thought it was funny when I found out today, and I was like, oh my gosh, I am talking about collaboration with Trey. Like, and then I see, and then I see this with Snoop, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. But one thing I'm learning, especially with Black people, us, I think it's a subconscious thing when it comes to collaborating with certain people. And I'm not talking about Snoop anymore. I'm just talking about
A general pool.
yes. And I'm just talking about like how we were taught, and I'm not gonna say us as a whole, but most of us were taught not to collaborate, to get it on our own. And I think
Hmm.
it's a subconscious thing that not even just a subconscious thing, but a generation thing that we need to unlearn. And once we unlearn that, then I think so many more doors will open for us.
Hmm.
Like for me, for instance, I know I want to collaborate with people. Like I'm always like, put me in the room, put me in rooms that only you can put me into, or only God can put me into, because I know what I'm trying to do and what I'm trying to tell the people of what I've learned along this personal development journey. I
Hmm.
can't do it by myself, you
Right.
know. And so when it comes to collaborating with people and having a partnership, what are some things that you think you need to have a good partnership?
I think one, you got to understand your worth. Got to understand what you're doing. What are you bringing to that table? I'm I have a good rapport of filling out like proposals for sponsorships. Like it's kind of why Fresh Zone TV messes with me. 1057 Fresh Zone TV. You know, like when it comes to words and understanding how to take data, transfer it to a words, and put it into a proposal format. Um, Dang, I forgot I was. I'm sorry, I kind of forgot the question.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I was saying, what is it that you feel like makes
Oh,
a good partnership?
yeah. So understanding exactly what you bring into the table and um your drive. Um, when my bosses first put me in the car, like I'm thinking like, oh my god, like how can I catch up to them? But I'm working hard. Like my working hard is not going to be where they're at because they're on a different level, but they still
Right.
see that I'm working hard. So as long as you're understanding what you can bring to the table and you're working hard at your craft, and I think you really have to understand what that platform does. So I get a lot of DMs like people would say, "Oh, I like your music," and I'm like, I don't make music. So I say that because you don't people don't take the time to. All right, it says Trey the Glue, A&R,
They don't
Walking
take the time to
Billboard,
read.
right? So take the time to understand. All right, so I'm just using me as example. Um, my playlist is a Spotify featured playlist, so that's high in the algorithm. So when I approach indie artists or
Mhm.
major indie artists, I'm like, hey, look, that's the first tag. My Spotify playlist is this and this and this. Um, I understand that if I curate and make you playlists of the week, I mean pick of the week, this will happen, and then you can get this and this. It's just understanding what you can offer to that company, that label. You know what I mean? It has to do with research.
It's
And
crazy you said that.
if you
Keep
can't
going. I'm
do it,
sorry.
if you can't do it by yourself, find somebody that understands proposals or um, writing down contracts. Because again, it's okay if you don't know how to do it yourself, because at the end of the day, you cannot do it by yourself. So you got to find meaningful help in certain areas that you're not comfortable doing yourself, or you can't do
Yes.
yourself.
I got so excited before I wouldn't even let you stop. I'm sorry. I didn't even mean to interrupt you because that's how I feel. I think that's what it is. It's actually finding the right person for the right job. And knowing sometimes like with a partnership, it's kind of like dating that person. Do you
Yeah.
really want to get into you got to know the person, or you got to know a little bit about how that person brings themselves to the table, how they represent their brand, even if it's
Mhm.
a new brand. I always you can always tell when somebody's enthusiastic about what they're doing it from the heart, and
Right.
they just need some help.
Right.
Sometimes I feel like we don't know how to ask for help, or we don't know where to go to get the help.
Hmm.
And sometimes that can be
It's
interpreted
very.
like. Yes, like it can be like, and sometimes like whenever we don't put our best foot forward to get that information, then you have people that are higher up and know where to go and what to do. They might not want to work with you. They might not want to. Like, I have a cousin. He makes a lot of money. He lives in Atlanta, Georgia. Everybody know Mr. and Mrs. 2 Weeks if you in Atlanta, Georgia. And I've never really reached out to him just because, okay, for one, like, I just got too much respect for him.
Hmm.
I'm not one of those ones to be like, "Oh, I want a handout, or let me see what he can do." No, because for one, we're not as close. If we were close, I might be like, "What, you gonna put me on, or you gonna tell me where to go or what to do?" But I think it's just sometimes asking those questions and actually wanting to get the information and get the knowledge. Can you tell us what made you stay on this path that you're on? You said you haven't went back to the things that you did in the chapters that you're doing. What makes you keep collaborating and having different partnerships with different people?
Not to gloat on myself, but especially understanding this year, I'm understanding that I am somebody to somebody, or I am somebody to a lot of people. Um, so understanding I have a light on me, shit, I just keep it 100. Like I represent six artists. I promote six artists. I don't do management no more. Um, and what I'm saying is that they don't pay. My thing is I got the light already, so I'm just shining it. Like, what I mean? I plug you in. I plug you in. Like with these six people, we have a great rapport. So I'm not worried about the that kind of that money, because I know certain things at the end of the line. Like I'm just shining my light. Um, I remember when I first started my Instagram page. I was always trying to figure out ways to stand out. I'm old school. I like to stand out. I don't want to do what everybody. I'm not in that
Right.
trendy
They
stuff,
go right, we go left.
right? Um, and one of the first things I started doing, um, to include onto my playlist, because my playlist is different. I'm really pushing um, music with great conversations with podcasts. You don't see that on most playlists. You know what I mean? So what I was on, I was like, all right, well, let me start promoting. podcasts that I like that I have been liking over the years. So I just started doing that, and then it started to every Wednesday thing, and then it started to all right. Well, I have this group of podcasts that I like. Let's see if I can actually do a collaboration with them. And it started out all right, and I just broke it all down, and now I'm starting over again. Um, and this time, actually, like I dug into your podcast for a minute before I even like reached out. So, I mean, really trying to make sure people are actually standing on their craft. Like, if your podcast is about mental health, then you should not be talking about the NFL game. Like,
Right.
or you shouldn't have if if you're like shouldn't have music playing. Like, it should be exactly what it is. So um at the end of the day, I just love shining a light on people because I understand the concept of lineage.
Yes.
I helps you. I'm saying that, for example, I can help you right now, and then maybe a year or two, you might say, "Oh, yo, I got these. I know these two artists. Who can I plug these two artists in?" Well, Trey up here now, so you know what I mean.
Yay.
Like, so it's just a lineage, like, and I don't have no problem. I know you have to do this. I learned this from a young age. You have to give more than you take.
Yeah.
That's how the universe works. You give, 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 and you're gonna get that double back. So I learned that at an early age from just being around um, older black women, just seeing how they were maneuvering, and
Yeah,
that's
because
why
we
I'm at where
definitely
I'm at now.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely we give more than we get. I can say that as a black woman. And I can also say as far as with just in all, just in life in general, I think it's about serving. I think it's about trying to be a better person each and every day. One reason I did the podcast on mental health because it was like a coping mechanism for me. You know,
Right.
when I started the podcast, I had lost my grandparents and I was spiraling out, and I'm very outspoken. And so I was like, how can I put this into some type of healing journey? And but then also let the audience know what I'm learning along the way. I'm not just talking, I'm putting myself in rooms where people know more than me, and I'm actually learning about the brain and why we are the way we are, and things of that nature. So like I said, this show today, it meant a lot to me just for you to take the time to come on the show. Like I said, I know it's Thanksgiving week,
Hmm.
but just giving ourselves a time to collab with each other and have a partnership. Now we locked into each other, Trey. So if
Right.
I
Right.
hit you up, it's like, what's up,
Right.
Trey?
You ask anybody, like, I'm pretty much that kind of guy. Like, I mean, I give out free information all the time. Speaking of that, we have a podcast sponsored by Spotify titled "Free Game Podcast" with my partner, my boss, and my friend Stan CLMG. Um, Pretty much give free game of the music industry. People ask us questions, and we'll give our best version of that answer at that time.
Yeah, you definitely gotta let me know more about that so that I can share that and then be a part of it. I'm always down for some type of structure, no, not necessarily criticism, but just making me better. So I'm always like, what can I do, Trey? Tell me something that I'm not doing. I know as far as the quality, I know as far as what I need to do with that.
Mhm.
But as far as anything else, what I'm talking about, I
All right. Well,
ramble a lot.
I got something for you, right? So this is what we I think we did this like on our first episode. Uh,
Okay.
I love that. I love like research and stuff like that. So what's your elevator pitch?
Oh, what's my elevator pitch? So this is Truth Be Told podcast. I'm your host, Britt, and we talk about mental health and healing the inner child. If you want to know more about healing the inner child and mental health, then you can come find me at Truth Be Told podcast.
Okay, okay.
Don't
Now,
be
all
trying to
right.
put me on
All right,
the
so this is
spot.
the second day, right? So you're on your 70th episode, so you should be well aware of where you were sit at as far as things, as far as podcasts. So they have hour plus, 40 minutes plus, 30 minutes plus, and then it's 30 minutes and less. So where does your fit at?
30 minutes or less.
Okay. And why is that?
That's where I feel like, as far as with my content and the people I'm listening to,
Mhm.
the my analytics. You know what I'm trying to say.
I know what you said.
Oh, I feel like that's a good time for me and for my audience to pay attention.
Okay.
So that's why I leave it at 30 minutes.
Do you know who your audience is?
Yes, mostly women,
Okay.
25 to 34.
Mm, okay. Yeah, so that was just pretty much like the podcast like things that I believe podcasters should know. Like you should know where your time zone or time capacity fits in so you'll understand the amount of podcasters that are doing this type of time, so you'll understand your competition or your realm, more say, and
Right.
as who your audience is, so that way you'll know who to target it. And then once you figure out who your audience is, you may, I'm not sure if you can get that from Spotify information. I know you can get it from your Instagram, and just figure out like, all right, these are my top four cities, so I'll start running ads to these top four
Okay.
cities,
We definitely
targeted
can
ads.
talk. We definitely can have a conversation after this podcast, because, or whenever you have time, because like I said, I'm always down for networking with like-minded people and people that, can put me on and teach me something. So I'm just thrilled to even get that little bit from you. You done
Right.
schooled me in about 3 minutes.
Well, I tell you this, well, because Mind Triggers, I remember their podcast I promote. They're out, I want to say DMV area, Baltimore area, New Jersey area, but I want to say like 6 months ago, they sent me their data for the
Yeah.
fan retention they get from my playlist, and it's crazy. Like, if so, I'll put this episode on there, and I would say within 7 days you'll have like maybe 200 spins plus,
Oh, wow.
and I can't keep a track of like what followers go to your podcast.
Right.
You can't do
Right.
that yet, but so
But you on your way.
yeah.
We both on our way. God is amazing. I want to say something to you before we get off today, Trey. I like I said, I'm commending you for everything you're doing and networking and being around like-minded people. If there was something that you could tell your younger self when you were younger that you haven't ever said to Trey, little Trey, what is something that you would tell him today?
uh, all that negative energy I was doing, I could have been doing the positive 10 times and just as much, and I would have already been here. But I understand. I I don't know the pages to the book, but I know the book, so I can't rush it. It's things happen for a reason. But that's definitely what I would have told myself. Like, quit the negative shit. I understand what you like, because I probably would have graduated from boarding school. I probably would have went to college. What I mean, I probably would be the gym teacher I wanted to be, or a math teacher, or something like that. So what I mean, I would have told myself to really hone on your skills and quit the negative shit.
Okay. I love it. I love it. And I like to end with a random question. So you know it's Thanksgiving. So if you got four things on the table that you got to get rid of, we're talking about macaroni and cheese, ham, greens, and yams. What got to go?
Macaroni.
Oh, they
Hold
gonna
on,
get
hold
you.
on. You say yams? Yeah, I'll get rid of the yams. I'll get rid of the
Okay.
yams and keep. Yeah,
You
I
know the
was.
mac and cheese dude.
I am, but I would have gave that up just to keep the greens and the yams. Like I like that together mashed with hot sauce. I like that.
Okay.
Like
Look, you getting me hungry already, y'all. I am starving myself until Thursday. So we're gonna be eating sandwiches over here. They might have some tuna. They ain't really getting, they might call DSS on me before Thursday because they really just getting what they getting until, I'm gonna say till Wednesday.
right, yeah, because you gotta take time and you ain't trying to feed them. Like, come on, man, you make something to eat, quick,
Y'all
easy.
better eat what's in here, eat a sandwich. But I'm gonna sign out. And before I sign out, Trey, please let everybody know where we can find you at on social media.
All right, so Instagram and TikTok is the same. Trey underscore the underscore glue. If you're a Spotify uh, streaming user, you can look up TG playlist. It's simple, all caps TG spacebar playlist. Uh, and that's it. You were Spotify pretty much have it down now. Where if you look at my playlist, my Spotify podcast will show up below it, and then all the playlists that I help curate will show under that because I help curate a couple other playlists.
Okay, okay. Well, it was my pleasure speaking with you today, Trey. We are going to sign out. Guys, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the channels. Make sure you support both of us. This is episode number 70
Number
with
70.
Truth Be Told podcast with Trey the Glue. We going to
Hey,
sign out. Y'all have a happy Thanksgiving.
y'all too, man. Y'all have a blessed holiday. Don't drink and drive.
Don't. Bye bye.